Hey guys, Mechanite here, and recently I did a report on the world referring to it as similar to the game in my world, Dungeons & Dragons. And today we're back with another story from that world. The story of how our two main characters from that are Gladiator and his monster companion met. Jameith Solvayev had met his companion when he had been searching for resources in the part of his life where he was particularly low on resources or tools and not even that good at being a gladiator yet. He had fled to a corner region of the Great Maze, a city built on gladiator arenas for the evil warlock who I covered in my last log to use to fuel his dark scream energy. Now, this area was like mountains, like cliffs, but built of ruined structures. Not ruined by the monsters, but purposefully built that way so the gladiators would have a harder time. Filled with caves and caverns and traps. Jameith Solvayev and the Mercure Walixon, who we both covered in our last log, were about to meet. Jameith Solvayev had set up camp for the night and slept through it, for he was dangerously low on food, and for that day, for the first day in a long time, he would have to go out physically hunting. As he went out grabbing a spear, as he had not yet gotten his axe, he tried to look for a beast that wouldn't be much effort to kill. He found very small animals, but were all too fast and escaped him. And eventually, he found the Mercure Walixon. Now, as this beast strolled through the area like a T-Rex, Jameith Solvayev was struck with fear, but he also knew it was the best chance he had to not starve to death. He tried to sneak up on the beast, but had great senses and heard him coming. It waited for him to get close enough, and then it simply spun around and pounced on him, trying to pummel him with both of his legs kicked at the same time at the gladiator. Now, Jameith Solvayev fought back, using his spear to fend off the beast's many tongues as he tried to eat the gladiator whole. They fought for a long time, and they moved far through the gladiator arenas as they were chased by one another, fighting and crashing into walls. Eventually, still on the outskirts, they encountered a cave where they were fighting. One of them fell off the cliff on top of the cave, falling down, but they managed to kick the other whilst they were both down. Now, Jameith Solvayev simply ran at the other again, but he stepped on one of the scream gems kept by the warlock. He had clearly been around this area, and a horrifying shriek that burst both of their eardrums echoed out. A horrifying creature, like a centipede dragon, burst out of the cave and attacked them both, breathing plumes of fire. Jameith Solvayev simply tried to run away, but it was captured by the beast's tail, and as the beast tried to eat it whole, he did manage to jump out of the way. One of the beast's many horns cut through his arm, and he was bleeding heavily. He was grabbed in the beast's legs, the same way the beast he was fighting had, trapped in the beast's arms. Both of them were crashed against walls, thrown against barrels, chests and crates that were scattered across the arena, until the beasts began to fly across to a new area. Now, our gladiator was struck with fear, and they closed their eyes as they weren't yet as fearless as they are now. So, they would later emerge in a new area, carried to it by this mysterious dragon, whose shrieks caused immense pain to anyone who heard them. The dragon swung them both and crashed them down as one of its wings were torn. Some people think it was by the Mycazoctron. Others think it was the beast's own plan. As the beast crashed down, it crashed through multiple walls, which ultimately did end up hurting our gladiators even more. Our gladiators landed in the widest circular arena they'd ever been in, filled with obstacles but mostly empty. And on all the sides were 6 terrifying beasts, each one ready to fight our gladiators. They were scattered through different parts of arenas, and one was even the beast that our hero, James of Sylviath, would have to kill to get his pelt. They would discover whilst fighting these beasts that there was 4 pearls scattered around the arena. In fact, even more than 4, but that wasn't intentional. In the first place, 4 pearls had been put here, charged with energy, put there by the warlock, so charged with that energy that they could summon a beast to fight for you. But these beasts were also rejects, just like the Mercazoctron. They weren't scary enough to give enough of a fear energy that the Dark Warlock used, and so they were scrapped, put into gems so their magic could not escape. Some people think the dragon created the Slayer, mind controlling the others. Some people think the pearls created a natural process where the beasts would be mind controlled. And other people think the warlock put it there on purpose. Whether any of those are true are up to interpretation, but it didn't change what our gladiator went through that day. Now, 4 of the pearls still had magical energy in, but the others that were found in the arena had shriveled up and died, gone grey, losing their magical energy. So, they couldn't be used. However, all 4 were found by our gladiator, and they were used to fend off these beasts. And this was eventually how our gladiator and the beast he fought, the Mercalavan, would become good friends and fight alongside each other for many years to come. The 4 beasts were a T-Rex-like beast covered in alternating purple and pink fur and a wide Oni-like face, a tentacled kraken covered in hair on its face with dark glowing eyes, a slime ogre whose entire body was dripping with slime and they had multiple eyes and ram-like horns, and finally a 2-headed dragon covered in tentacles and with wings double the height of our gladiators. Now, while they would all be found, they wouldn't be found for a while, as our gladiator and the Mercalavan would still be fighting. Eventually, though, the Mercalavan would begin to fight back. They formed a tenuous alliance that eventually truly became an alliance, where the 2 would fight alongside each other. They were able to fend off the beasts. One took longer than all the others, a demonic purple-furred beast with a long snake tail and large horns. And some of the others lasted a long time as well. One that was essentially a beetle with giant scythe arms and wings, and the other, the beast that gave our gladiator his hide. The beast that gave him the most issues, and so he found it only poetic that they would be the one he transformed into his armour. Eventually they did win this battle, and the dragon, whilst rearing up to attack them again, after the 2 months they had spent fighting these beasts, it simply flew away, scuttling away. It is unknown whether it feared our gladiators, or if it was something else entirely. Some people even believe they were reporting back to our Dark Warlock, who our beast and gladiator companion would fight later on in their journeys. No one knows for certain, no, and that's eventually how Mike of Sylviath got his first taste for being a true gladiator. But it's also where he found his most hardships, the most pain he'd ever faced, and that's how he first came across his goal, first realised that his true goal was to end the warlock.